For years, Square Enix teased the video game community with the possibility that it might be working on a brand new Avengers game. And last year at E3, they finally showed it off to the world. After so many years of rumors and speculations, we finally got to see what this Avengers game was that they were working on, and it was met with overwhelming... What? What is this? Is it single player? Is it multiplayer? Is this a live service game? Why do they look like that? Oh my god. Yeah, it wasn't exactly met with the wave of praise and hype that they were expecting. However, as the year has gone on, they've continued to release more information about this game. We've found out there will be additional characters in here besides the ones that were just initially shown off. We've seen more of the actual gameplay, so we know what these characters look like in action. In other words, they've been able to keep this alive in our minds throughout the year. But today, on the day that I'm recording this, the game officially went up for pre-order. And I wanted to come in here and discuss this because yes, the game still isn't being viewed all that favorably. People still have problems with the way that these characters look. I mean, we kept saying when we initially saw these characters, oh, okay, they probably made them look all goofy and awkward on purpose, so that way they can sell us the really nice skins as additional DLC. And today we saw what the pre-order bonus skins were going to be. It was going to be a bunch of classic costumes, and oh my gosh, they look even worse than the actual costumes that come in the game already. So maybe it's not that they were saving the good costumes for later. Maybe they just don't really have a good art style on this game. Also, we kept saying to ourselves, well, okay, so it doesn't look all that great, but I'm sure the combat's going to be amazing. I mean, the little bits of combat that we actually saw in this game looks great. But apparently, right before they delayed this game at a PAX, they let a group of people actually play the game, and those people came out and said, yeah, this wasn't fun. It actually got some pretty negative reactions from the people who actually got their hands on the game. And I've seen a lot of people talking about this. I've seen a lot of people still talking about the way that this game looks, about the rumors about how this game plays, and I've seen a lot of concern being thrown back and forth on this, and I know that a lot of people are going to say, well, that's why you shouldn't pre-order this game. And they're right. You should not pre-order a game when you don't actually know if it's going to be a good game or not. You should probably just wait until the reviews come out, and if the reviews are positive, then you can go ahead and get the game. However, there is one concern with this game that I have not seen anyone addressing. And in all honesty, it blows my mind that no one is addressing this. We know how the game looks. We've heard rumors about how the game plays. But the thing that no one has addressed is we don't know what this game is. You know, something that's kind of important when you're trying to sell a video game. Yes, I remember that fateful E3 when the Square Enix representatives came out there and walked on stage and said, we will continue to support this game for years to come, and we have a roadmap of how this is going to work. They didn't actually say roadmap, but that's basically what they said. And I remember I was watching the reaction from other streamers who were watching this live, and they all had that exact moment of, what? What are you talking about? What does that mean? And it slowly dawned on all of them. Wait, this is a live service game? That's what this is going to be? And yet they didn't actually call it that. They didn't actually come out here and say this is a live service game. They talked about like we all already knew that's what it was going to be. And I kept thinking, okay, so that's just them not understanding how to sell this product. Because that happens a lot when people have worked on a game around other people who have been working on this game for a long time. They forget that other people out there in the real world don't know what the game is, so when they go out there and try and sell it, they forget to actually explain to people what the game is. We've seen that happen before. That's obviously what happened here. But as the year goes on, we're gonna get some more information about the live service side of this game. And the year has gone on, and we have received no information about the live service side of this game. And let me just go ahead and say, yes, there is going to be single player content in this game. However, when a game has a live service and a single player content, the live service is the thing they want you to spend more time on, because the live service is what gets them the majority of their money. That's what gets customers to keep coming back again and again. That's the thing they have to keep working on again and again. The single player content, they just make that, put it out there, bam, it's done. You guys can just enjoy that game. But the live service, that's something they have to keep working on over and over again for years to come. So that's going to be the majority of the game. And yet, that's the thing that anytime someone asks them about that, they drop a smoke bomb, and then when the dust clears, you just see an open window where they once were, and the curtains just blowing in the wind. Yeah, they have been so quiet on what the live service side of this game is, and I remember when that initial trailer came out, and they were talking about the Terrigen crystals in there, and I went, the Terrigen crystals, that has to do with the Inhumans. Nobody's talking about the Inhumans in like years now at this point. And then it slowly dawned on me, yeah, they've been working on this game for years. They have spent a good long time working on this thing. They started working on this thing back at that time when Marvel was still really trying to push the Inhumans. When they were trying to make the Inhumans the next X-Men, but then nobody wanted that. And also they now have the X-Men back. So the Inhumans kind of just don't matter anymore. They don't care about them. They shoved them away quick. And when the Terrigen crystals came up, I looked at that and just went, oh my God, this is like the last remains of that big Inhumans push. This is like that scene from Community where Troy comes back with the pizza and everything's on fire. Troy is the Avengers game, and all the other Inhuman stuff that Marvel tried to get going is all the stuff that's on fire in that scene. That is what is happening right now with the Terrigen crystals in this game. But the more that I have thought about this, the more I realize, oh, that's not the only thing that's kind of dated in this game right now. Because they've been working on this game for so long that when they started working on this game, live services were all the craze. It's what everybody wanted to do. Everybody was jumping on the live service bandwagon, and that's kind of started to backfire. Fallout 76, Anthem, live service is kind of a dirty word now. And now Avengers is going to be a massive live service game, and they're scared to actually talk about the live service side because they realize nobody actually wants this. Nobody wants a live service Avengers game because nobody wants live service games at the moment. However, it doesn't matter whether or not the audiences out there want it. This is what you made, and you're asking people to pre-order this, and yet you're not willing to tell people what the thing is that they're going to pre-order. And I know some people are going to be jumping into the comments right now and they're going to be saying, we do know what this is. It's going to be a multiplayer game where you play as the other Avengers. Okay, what are you doing? Don't get me wrong, I scoured the internet to find as much information about this as I possibly could because I wanted to make sure that I went into this with all the information they had given us so far. And last October, they did indeed put out a trailer that was meant to be a summary of what this game was, which is a good idea. It is an introduction to what the game is going to be. However, the part where they actually talk about the live service side of this was maybe 30 seconds of a 3-minute video. The rest of the video was them talking about the story mode. And we know the story. We know everything about the story. We don't need any more information about this story. But then they go into, yes, you'll be able to unlock specific costumes for these characters that come from the history of Marvel Comics. And some costumes that are unique just to this game. Okay, that's nice. And you'll be able to get drops that you can use to customize your characters that give you different stats. Okay, yes, all right, I understand how drops work. And there will be a way to go out there onto the big map and you'll be able to go on missions with your team. And then the buffs that you get from going on these missions will play out in the story. Okay, what do you do on the missions? Like, I'm glad that you're addressing that there are missions. That's nice, and I'm glad you have shown us the map. But what do we do on the missions? Like, I see us just punching a bunch of robots. Is that it? Do we just go in there and punch a bunch of robots? Do we punch a bunch of robots and then we have to, I don't know, move the payload? Do we have to defend a certain thing? Is it like tower defense levels? Do we just fight through waves of robots as we go from point A to point B on this map? Because if we're going from point A to point B, is there like an end boss at the end of all this? that we're going to? And how many different levels are you going to provide us with? Because, yeah, Overwatch, when it launched, it didn't have a whole bunch of different levels, but that didn't really matter because it was a competitive game in which you were playing against other people out there, so you could go on the same stage multiple times, and it would always feel different because you were playing against different teams. You were playing against other players. If this is just player versus the computer, then we're basically just going to be going up against the exact same giant waves of robots over and over again. So are you going to have like 30 different levels that we can choose from every single month in order to keep this lively? Because, yeah, okay, that's a lot of variety. That's a lot of stuff that we'd be able to check out. Or is there like one level every single week? Because then you're going to be asking me to go back in there and play through the exact same level over and over and over again just to get drops. I don't want to play through the exact same level over and over and over again just so I can get drops that will make me stronger when I play through the exact same level over and over and over again. I tell you, every single thing that I have heard about this game does make it sound like Anthem. And listen, if Anthem had been mapped out better, if the story mode was better, if they actually had more interesting things to do in that game, it could have worked. And maybe the Avengers game is going to be that. That's another thing that I want to make clear. I'm not saying this game is going to be a flop. I'm not saying this game is going to be bad. I'm just saying they haven't shown me how this game will be good yet. And it feels like anytime that we start to address the things that we need to address in order to see whether or not this game is going to be good, all of a sudden they shut up. Like they do not go into the details that we need them to go into in order to give us the information that we need in order to understand what the hell it is that they're talking about. Like they keep saying, okay, well yes, there are missions that you go on, but they're all narrative driven and they play back in to the overall narrative of the single player story mode. Okay. How? What does that mean? What are you talking about? This is what we need. This is what we need them to actually do. We need them to come in here and actually just sit down and do like an hour-long live stream just showing us the developers working through the live system part. Like actually show us a team of Avengers in there going through these missions that they said are going to be in the game, the part that is going to be the live service side of this game. Then show us what they get for doing those missions, and then show us how that plays back into the narrative of the game. I remember they came in here and they said, like right after E3, when people were asking, is this a live service game? They said, okay, yes, it is a live service, but it's so narrative driven that there isn't like anything else out there that we can point to and say it's like that. And hey man, you want to create something that isn't like anything else out there, something that is entirely unique, that's wonderful. That is great. But it means that you need to do a really bang up job explaining to people what it is. And again, I keep coming back to this. It feels like every single time that they have to explain what this game is, they just shut up. They just slowly fade away into the background. They tell us to look behind us, and then when we turn back around, they're gone. All I know about the live service side is that you get drops, you fight robots, and it somehow plays back into the story. But again, I have to keep coming back around to this. Is every single stage just I fight robots? Are they the same robots? Is there an end boss to every single stage? Is there like an objective that we have to meet on certain stages? I don't know what the hell this game is. And as I said, I know that a lot of people are criticizing this game for the way that it looks. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it really feels like there's going to be some cheap, dirty microtransactions in here. As I said, there was that hands-on experience at PAX that people walked away from saying that wasn't really all that fun. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that people are really nervous about with this game, but I feel like no one is bringing up the fact that what is going to be the main focus of the game, the thing that they are going to try and sell this as to keep you coming back again and again and again, over and over again, to keep you playing this game, the fact that we don't know what that is, that should be the biggest red flag of all, and no one is talking about it. So I just had to come in here today and actually address that. But Let me know your thoughts on this game down below. Do you not care about the fact that we don't really know what it is? Does that not really matter to you? Do you want to go ahead and pre-order this thing? Do you think that I'm completely wrong about all this? Let me know that in the comments down below. And when the game comes out, you better believe we are indeed going to do a review of it. So if you want to see that review whenever the hell that eventually happens, make sure you click that subscribe button, ring that bell, and if you like this video, share it around the web. It's the best way to help this channel grow. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Come back next time.